Hi, this is Sweet June. I'm back at you with another video topic. The sun just came out here. The sun just went back in, so it's playing with me today. It was out earlier, just before I came out here. Now, as soon as I come out here, it decides to go back in. Go figure. I have some beautiful days up here in Michigan. If you guys caught my video, I did a video last night uh, talking about my jazzy life. Cut jazzy life, some slack. Uh, Check that video out. That was posted late last night. Check that video out. This video I want to talk about. Um, I mentioned it in one of my other videos. Job, J.O.B. Job is stands for just over broke. That's what job stands for. Just over broke. We are taught to. This is what we're taught. We're, this is what I was taught. And this is what a lot of people are taught. A lot of people are taught to go to work hard in school, graduate, go to college, or if you don't go to college, go get a job, get the best paying job that you can get, but you're not going to be able to do that unless you have a certain amount of education. And even if you have a certain amount of education, well, still sometimes can't get that. Um, Really, really good paying jobs are really hard to come by. And then depending on the area you live in, they can really be limited. So this is what we're taught. We're taught to uh, go get a job, go to someone else's place of employment and put an application in or submit our resume and apply for a job. And in most cases, that said job is not paying us a livable wage in most cases. You know, um, people say, well, go get a job. You know, like when I read these blogs, and I did another video talking about that when people were talking about welfare and food stamps and all that, and why don't they just get a job? And I'm like, okay, well, if it was that simple, if it was as simple as people getting a job, on my video where I'm talking about all the cuts, I got over 20,000 hits on that video. Some people would just get a job. Okay, well, if it was that simple, then people wouldn't need these programs. If it was that simple, if it was as simple as someone just getting a job, we all know that life is very, very complicated, very, very difficult, and very, very hard. Realistically, common sense to tell you that it's just not that simple. It's not as simple as just getting a job because people have jobs and they're still poor. Okay, people are still struggling and they have jobs. Okay, so um, we are taught to get a job, but what we are not taught about is we're not taught about money. We're not taught about entrepreneurship. That's what we're not taught about. I wrote some stuff down. As I've stated in other videos, now 7.25. I had to Google that. I had to Google the minimum wage because I haven't made minimum wage in quite some time. I mean, most of my jobs over the past 10 years have been a little bit, they've been a little bit over minimum wage. I haven't really made minimum wage in quite some time. So most of my jobs have been a little over minimum wage. So I had to Google what the national minimum wage was, and the national minimum wage is 7.25. I'm shocked because I thought it was higher than that. Um, but that's the national minimum wage. The national minimum wage. Now it varies from state to state. Some states it's a little higher. Michigan increased their minimum wage. They're supposed to be over the next 5 years or so. It's supposed to be increasing it a little bit more. So it varies from state to state. Some states are higher because states get to set their own minimum wage. Now, if the national minimum wage is 7.25, now I understand. Oh, my tablecloth is blowing up. Now I understand why we have such a high homeless rate in this country. I understand why we have such a high homeless rate. I understand why people are working full time and they're still sleeping in their cars. Um, understand why a lot of people are homeless working full time and they're still homeless. Because at 7.25, how can you afford to get a flat? How can you afford to get a place to stay? Um, with buying food, paying utilities, and whatever, all the other necessities of life. How can you do that on 7.25 an hour? And that's even if you don't have a family. If you're just trying to take care of yourself, how even with one person, that's not even enough money for one person. With food, what prices going up? Everything is high. Food prices, housing costs are going up, skyrocketing. Now they ain't no doggone well 7.25 ain't no money. And then they don't understand why people need these programs. They don't understand why people need food stamps and Section 8. People can't understand why people need these programs. Well, that's why people need these programs. 7.25 is not enough. Not enough money. Okay, so so we know just getting a job is not gonna cut it. Just simply getting a job is not gonna cut it. Not for 7.25. Even $8 or $9, $10 an hour is not enough money. It's not. So it's just so you're still working and you're still broke. We need to educate our children on not because like you got some people that got college degrees. That's the point I wanted to make before I wanted to go to that point. You have some people that have college degrees, and I have a college education. I'm only 3 classes away from my bachelor's, and I'm not making nowhere near what I thought I was going to be making at this point. Okay, I went into other videos. I talked about how that's affected me, and I'm messed up about it. I'm really messed up about it. I try not to marinate on it, but I'm really messed up about it. Um, but people have bachelor's degrees. People have uh, master's degrees, and they're not they're not making nowhere near what they thought they was going to be making. And some people haven't even been able to get a decent paying job in their field of study. Some people say, well, go to college then, get a college degree. Okay, well, a lot of people have done that, and they're still not making a whole lot of money. I don't know what the stats are on that, but there's a lot of people just did just that. They went to college. I did that for many, many years. I have an associate's, but I'm 3 classes away from my bachelor's. And even with that amount of education, I should be making more money than what I'm making. Okay, but employers don't really, because my mom, she keeps saying, well, with your education, you should be in a better job, whatever. Um, well, employers don't really want to hear about what you almost have. They want to hear about what you have. They don't want to hear about what you almost have. Oh, I almost have a bachelor's. And I have on my resume, I have bachelor's pending. That's what I have. And it's pending. Still have to get it yet. So they don't want to hear, and you go in an interview, well, I almost have my bachelor's. I'm 3 classes away from my bachelor's. Well, they want to hear about what you have, not what you almost have. And so The entry level position, they're gonna be looking for somebody. If I apply for the position, an entry level position in a corporate America job, whatever, um, and someone else applied for that same position, but they have a bachelor's, but I don't. Guess who they're gonna give the job to? If the job requires a bachelor's degree, or they want the highest education that they can get for that particular position over an associate's degree, then if the person applying, I apply for the job, and the other person apply for the job, we both interview for the job, that person has a bachelor's, but I don't. Guess who they're gonna give the job to? They're gonna give it to the person that has the bachelor's degree. Okay, so and then people have bachelor's degree and they're still, depending on what they went to school in. And I'm gonna do another video topic about that actually. Um, when you do go to college, you gotta be very strategic in the field that you go into. And I know that people are interested. People are interested in going into college for certain things, and but then you got to think about the long range. You have to think about, okay, is this field, if I get a degree in this, is it gonna, in the long range, will I be able to get a job? When I switched my major, I went from business to liberal studies, and I asked the guy, the counselor, what kind of job can I get with this degree? And he said, well, yeah, well, there's a lot of jobs out there that require just a degree. No, it's not. No, it's not. I found that out. There's not a lot of jobs out here that require just a degree. They tell you that. I'm going to talk about that in another video. They tell you that. These colleges are greedy and they lie to you. And they tell you these things just to get you to spend your financial aid, spend your student loan, rack up student loan debt, Pell Grants or whatever it is, so they can make money off of you. They don't care. They don't care whether you graduate. They don't care if you get a good paying job. They don't, most of these colleges don't care. All they care about is the bottom line. So they're going to tell you anything. Oh, sure, you can get a job with that degree. No, a liberal studies degree, you cannot get that. It's not a degree that you can just get. Most employers ain't checking for no liberal studies degree. Okay, most employers is not checking for it. Okay, but I'm gonna do, that's another video topic. I really want to get deep into that. But these colleges, they lie, they lie to you. Um, but that's what people we are trained, with, from little child on up. Get a job, get a job, and that's the perception is that's the end all be all. If you get a job, then you're gonna be straight. If you work really really hard and get two if you have to, okay, then you'll be straight. You'll have your house, you'll have your car. They don't. It's, realistically, you don't have those things, and if you do have those things, you're struggling to keep them up. And I'm not talking about a brand new car either. Okay, and even if you're living in an apartment, you're still struggling because apartment costs are high too. Housing costs, period, are high. It's cheaper to buy than it is to rent, but buying a house and living in it is a liability. Learned that from Robert Kiyosaki. So we need to educate our children. We need to educate our children on money, money, and entrepreneurship. I told my granddaughter, she was here last week. I said, my granddaughter, she got a little business going on. She's got a little t-shirt line. She's got a snacks t-shirt line that she's created. She has a little t-shirt line, and she's a bit of an artiste, and she has a little t-shirt line out. She's actually sold some t-shirts, and I told her, baby girl, you can start you a website. I said you can start you a website and sell your t-shirts online. And so I told her when she was here, me and my son was talking about jobs and stuff like that, and I told my granddaughter, I said, strive towards, we were talking about college education and all that. And because I asked her, did she like school? And she said she didn't like school. And she's been saying that for the last 2 or 3 years now that she doesn't like school. So I'm getting a little bit concerned about that. And I told her, I said, well, I said, if you do go to college and don't rack up work, I said, work really, really, really hard to get you, so you can qualify for scholarships and get a lot of student loan debt. But I told her, I said, strive towards entrepreneurship. I said, that little T-shirt line you got going on there, focus on that. I said, that's a good idea. I said, center in on that. I said, work towards entrepreneurship. Work towards having your own business. That's what you do. Don't put 100% of stock in getting a job. Work towards having your own and building your own business. And I told her, I wish somebody had told me that when I was your age. My granddaughter is what, 9, 8, going on 9. I told her I wish I had somebody to tell me that when I was your age. Take that for what it's worth. And so that's what I encourage her to do. I'm going to encourage my grandson. That's what we have to do. We have to educate our children and train our children, teach them about money, teach them about debt, teach them about money, stocks, bonds, all those things. Assets, liabilities. I'm educating myself on it at my age. I'm trying to get educated on those things. I'm gonna pass that education down to my grandkids. Because I don't want my grandkids to live in poverty. I don't want my grandchildren to live in poverty. I don't want my grandchildren to have to. I don't want my children to have to. But they're having to go through it at this stage in their life. I don't want them to have to go through that for the rest of their life. I don't want my grandchildren to have to live in poverty. I want them to be. I want them to be smarter than I was. I want them to be smarter than their parents were. You know what I'm saying? So we have to educate our young children coming up and about money and about entrepreneurship, all these things, and give them books to read. And you read books so you can have knowledge to pass on to them. Okay, because just getting a job, we doing the same thing. I'm finding myself, I'm doing the same thing, expecting different results. I changed jobs thinking that okay, this I'm a, I changed. I've changed. I've worked so I've had so many jobs. I worked lots and lots of jobs, and I'm gonna work some more, doing the same thing, expecting different results. And it's the same thing, job after job. It's the same thing. Still broke, still struggling. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Doing the same thing, expecting different results. That's what a job is. It's 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 a liability. Job is not an asset. The job is a liability. There is no there's a limit to amount of money that you can make working somebody's job. There's a limit because they only gonna pay you so much money. Okay, even if it's good money, they only gonna pay you so much money. Okay, realistically. But when you have your own business and you start your own business, there is not no limit to the amount of money that you can make. If you grow that business, just like being on YouTube, I, there's other people I've seen have grown their YouTube channels, and they're making money. You know, there's different levels on here, and it's very difficult. It's very difficult. I'm finding and I'm realizing how difficult it is to grow your YouTube channel. Um, I've been on here since 2012, but granted, when I first started doing videos, I was just doing them here and there. I was just doing here and there. It was like up to 3 years ago that I decided that I was going to get really serious about um, and invest more time into my YouTube channel and get really serious and start being more consistent with posting content. Then I started posting like 2 or 3 videos a week, and then my subscribers started growing. Now I'm clocking in videos. I'm trying to clock in and get you guys content every single day now. And as you can see, if you look at my channel, if you look at my videos, you can see I'm trying to clock them in every day now. Sometimes 2 videos a day. Okay, I did one last night, which is still technically counts as today. And then I'm doing this one, and I'm thinking about doing another one after I get done with this one. Okay, so sometimes I'm clocking in a couple of videos for you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely my scribes is definitely growing. and everything like that. But anything worth doing is you got to put in the work. So I look at YouTube now as my business. I look at YouTube as my business. And so I'm treating it like it's my business. I was like, I told myself, I self talk. I said, June, you got to treat YouTube. You got to start treating this like it's your business. You got to start treating this thing like if you want to make money, you got to start treating it like it's your business. You know, start treating YouTube like it's my business because in a sense it is a business. You know, and so that's with anything across the board. You know, you got to put the work in, but there is no limit on the amount of money that you can make when you have your own business. But when you are working for somebody, there's going to be a limit. There's going to be a limit to how much money you are going to make. You're only going to be able to make so much money punching somebody's time clock. So that's the difference between having your own business and working, punching a time clock right there. And then I'm coming to realize the importance of having multiple streams of income. I'm trying to brainstorm and think of some ways that I can get some other sources of income coming in because what happens is if you put all your trust, the Bible says, and that's scriptural. The Bible says, put no trust in man. That's scriptural. We put all our trust in our job, put all our faith in that one job we got. Anything can happen. In my job, put it like this: I ain't never seen a job, and I've had lots of jobs, mind you. I've had lots of jobs in my years. I think I ain't never seen nobody fire so many people in my life. I spent the first 6 months on this job in panic mode because the first 3 months was just like torture. It's like if I can get through like these 90 days, I'm good. I have never seen an employer fire so many people in my life. This job, every time I turn around, they're firing someone. You can't get attached to somebody. Sometimes you get attached, you get to know people, and you get cool with them. Sometimes certain people you get attached to. I'm scared to get attached to anybody, afraid that now next thing I know, I look up, I ain't gonna see them no more. Somebody takes a vacation. My coworkers just took a vacation. I'm like, uh-oh, well, I ain't seen so and so in a while. Oh, where's she at? I ain't seen her in a few days. Uh-oh. I knew she came back. She came back to work. And she said, oh, I was on vacation. I said, oh, girl, I thought you scared me there. It's like they fire so many people. It's like, I don't know when they take a vacation. You don't know unless you have somebody specifically tell you that they took vacation. It's like, oh, are they still working here? It's like, and then some of the new ones come in. It's like you see them for a couple of days or maybe a week. And then after, oh, where's that one chick at? Where's that one chick? I don't see her no more. Oh no, they fired her. And you know, it's the type of job that it is. It's a caregiving job, and you know they want to make sure that the residents are getting the care that they need. In a sense, I guess I can, and from a business perspective, I can understand it because they want to make sure that the residents is getting the care that they need. And if they get somebody that ain't administering the care like they should be doing, or they're being neglectful in any kind of way, then you know they got to do what they got to do. So it's like they hold you to the fire. You got to dot your I's and cross your T's on this job, on this job that I'm on. As long as you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing, and you know, because I'm not trying to make it sound like, you know, the director's a jerk or anything. She's not. She's actually a really nice person, but it's like she's like this. You better secure your bag because I'm sure gonna secure mine. Okay. So at the end of the day, I'm gonna do what I got to do. So she's of the mentality that you ain't finna interfere with my coins. Okay. Because she got the owners to answer to. So it's like you better secure your bag because I'm sure gonna secure mine. She hasn't said that, but that's the mentality. And if you're a director, you have to kind of have that mentality. You know, you kind of have to think that way because you know she has bills that she got to pay. She got responsibilities. She's got to answer to the owners. So if somebody ain't doing what they supposed to be doing, it, it's not personal. It's business. You know. So it is what it is. And so if you work and if you find out within the first 2 weeks that that's the way it's laying, it didn't take me long to connect the dots. And I said, okay, well, I gotta make sure I'm on the job. I gotta make sure I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and I'm on the job. And so that's what secures your job. At this, well, most jobs, but they they hold you to the fire. So, but you can't you can't put your anything can happen. You can get laid off. You can get fired for whatever reason. And it's not getting fired is not always because of lack of performance. It can mean circumstances. You could have had some circumstances come up to where you had to miss one too many days of work, and then the employer said, "Well, I got to get rid of you." Because we got jobs here that we have factory jobs. Because we have like a industrial park. They call it an industrial park where there's a whole bunch of factories in this one area. This one is like an area of the city where there's a whole bunch of factories. So they call it an industrial park. And it's like you go mainly go through a temp agency to get these jobs, and they don't play. They don't play. You can only be late a couple times or so, maybe. You can only miss 2 or 3 days or whatever. And if you do that, then you out the door. Okay, because you are kind of like on a probationary period. So, but the flip side of that is there's so many of those factories out there that if one doesn't work out, then you go back to the agency and then they'll just set you up and hook you up with another one, and then you back to work the next day. So that's the flip side to that. But the thing is, you can't put your trust in nobody. You can't put your trust in no employer because anything can happen. You can look up, your job could be gone. So it's important to have some other streams of income coming in. If you got other streams of income coming in, then if you lose your time clock job, then you got some other things to fall back on, and to tie you over until you can get something else. You know, Having more irons in the fire, so to speak. So that's what I'm learning to realize. I'm coming to realize that I'm trying to brainstorm and think, okay, what's some other sources of income that I can have coming in? Okay, I got some ideas, the wheels are turning. It's just trying to get those, take money to make money. So it's trying to get those things off the ground. And most of those incomes is going to be from the internet, you know. So that's what I'm going to be doing, and I think those are important things to do because working a job is you're only going to get so far. You're still going to be broke. You're not going to be able to save any money. That's been my experience anyway. You know, not being able to save any money, living paycheck to paycheck. You know, barely making it, barely getting by. It's no good. It's no good. Just over broke. J.O.B. Just over broke. Hit me up in the comment section. What you think? Um, are you tired of living paycheck to paycheck? Are you thinking about starting your own business? Or are you thinking about starting your own YouTube channel? The only thing, I'm not a big YouTuber. I'm still a small YouTuber yet, unfortunately. So, not a whole lot of advice I can give you. The only advice I can give you as far as YouTube is be consistent. Being consistent for me is helping my scribes to grow. But because I'm not messy on here and I'm about positivity and I'm not messy on here, then my channel is not growing at the same rate that some messy YouTubers' channels is growing. That's just the reality of it. People like that drama and stuff on here. But the positive channels do grow. They just grow at a slower rate. And so I ain't about all that messiness, you know. I'm gonna be doing some different things on my channels and brainstorming some different ideas and starting to do some different things. But the only thing I can tell you is just to be consistent. Just be consistent with your content. If you're serious about making money on YouTube and having YouTube become your business, then you got to treat it like it's a business. And that's what the decision I made 3 years ago. Okay, June, you got to treat this thing like it's your business. And so I treat it like it's my business. I'm investing the time, and I'm going to be getting me a blogging camera. And so I'm going to be investing more money. I'm going to start learning how to edit. I had a trial editing software, and I couldn't even figure that thing out. So um, I'm going to figure the editing thing out one way or the other. So I'm going to be making improvements over the next year or two. I will be making improvements to my channel. And so hang with your girl. Hang with your girl. So that's the only advice I can give you, you know. But let me know what you plan on doing, and you plan on getting multiple streams of income coming in, or you frustrated about working, living paycheck to paycheck, or whatever the situation is. Hit me up in the comment section, whatever the situation is. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. And make sure you please hit that notification bell. I need you guys to hit that notification bell. So every time I do a video, it's going to pop up on your phone or whatever. And so you can watch me um, at your leisure, whenever you can. And because I need more views. I got over 700 subscribers, but my, I don't expect to get 700 views, but I should at least be getting over 100 anyway, 100 to 200 at least anyway. So I need you guys I'm assuming if you subscribe to my channel, you like my content, right? You like me, right? 710 people like me. So come on, guys, start watching me. And then share my videos on your social media. Share my videos. Your new subscribers, thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much. Um, People subscribing and they're unsubscribing. I'm not exactly sure as to why people are doing that, but hang in there with me. Okay, that being said, I got some more interesting video topics coming up. Stay tuned. I gotta go finish my son. I was making my son's bed up. He better take that for what it's worth, because I ain't did that ever since he was little. Well, every now and then. He likes to he likes to sleep with no sheets on the bed, and it drives me crazy. I'm like, what are you, a hobo? So I put some sheets on his bed, and I'm gonna put a comforter on it and make it up real nice for him. So he gotta take that for what it's worth. So I don't do that very often. Anyway, I'll be talking to you guys a little bit later. Peace and love. Stay tuned. This is Sweet Jen.